Hello everyone, CrystalFissure here. Welcome to another episode of ISGP Talk, the podcast, talk show, video show, whatever you want to call it, where I talk to people from this lovely tournament. Today, we are here to speak to one of my favorite competitors and people too, because being a competitor is good, but being a person is equally, or in other words, or arguably even more important than being a good competitor. It is Alice Clarke. Sorry for fucking up that intro.
Hello.
Yeah. I
Hello.
This is what happens when you just like let me riff and you just don't interrupt me and just go like, shut the fuck up. Like just.
No, I was rolling my eyes. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have to look at the footage back to see if that's the case. But and if it was, well, yeah. Jeez. Well, Alice, it is. The round has began and it has ended with an Alice loss and an Alice win. So you are now, I think the standings was like, what was it? I think did you go 3 wins, 6 losses? Is that what it ended up being, or was it
2 wins, 7 losses?
Oh, jeez.
But it can be 3 wins, 6 losses if you want.
Okay.
I kind of want it to be.
Yeah.
If you could change that, would be great.
Okay, yeah, we'll try and see what we can do. We'll make another H Dale's what's it called, like forfeit run, like
actually his controller was broken during the one we did.
Well, so and you know what, and how like you were such a victim of this because your two best friends Ashley and Noelle both essentially get handed wins. While you're the working class.
Spyro too as well.
You're the working class. Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know what? And we'll talk about this a bit later, but yeah, H-Dale as well is actually quite good at Spyro too. So you did get a bit unlucky there with that, but generally, sort of speaking generally, you did get fucking bananas. How do you feel like you went in your very first tournament? Like just in general, have you had fun? Have you
Pretty shit, to be honest.
Okay.
But I really, really enjoyed it. I think I could have done much better, but I think next tournament I'll be able to prove myself a bit more.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder if only you could actually maybe work with someone, in a tournament, like a tag team or something like that. That would be quite advantageous to you, right?
Yeah, actually, that'll be quite fun, I think. Well, it'll never happen. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just forget about it and never reference it again. But yeah, so generally, okay, yeah, you obviously had a losing record, but hey, so did I, and I have you to blame for that. And again, I'm pushing it. It feels like I'm pushing everything at the end, but we'll talk about that a bit more later. But yeah, how have you sort of felt like you went just from like a run to run basis, I guess?
Okay, run to run. So first one I did was Noelle.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so nervous, like it was the most nervous I've ever been in my whole life.
Wow.
I'd actually been putting off my run. I was the last person in Group C to start running.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went with Noelle, I was so nervous. Like I didn't really know them all that well at that point. So I was just kind of like, with all these new people, I was like, oh God. Just making so many stupid mistakes, but it was so fun in the end. Like I'm glad it turned out the way it did, and I did go over that portal. I did lose and I went over the portal and did go through it.
That was such I feel like that really did begin the term Alice luck, didn't it? It really did. Like that was it. It was like there was no going back from there at that point, I feel. Even though you did have another victory. But that to me just like exemplified that run. And I mean I guess it did happen again. Kind of, with the Ashley race as well.
Yeah. I mean, that was less my own idiocy and more just it happened like that. But I am glad that they all turned out that way because they wouldn't be as like noteworthy or funny or anecdotal as they are.
Yeah.
So I'll just be the next one this way.
That's right. Sips non-alcoholic wine.
Yes, it's non-alcoholic. I know.
Toils away in British
it's
resentment.
Really
Excellent. So generally then, I guess, what are your thoughts on Group C? So I know that this is every time I get someone with Group C on, like with Noelle and stuff like that, it's basically just a suck-off session really. But I want to continue. Let's just continue it because why not?
A suck-off session.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think Group C is the best group. I might be biased. But so Who we got in Group C? Before I forget.
It's like Group C's the best. Now, who's in there again?
So we've got, let's go from Harry. I really, really enjoyed being in Harry's company when we ran. I'm glad that, like, I make jokes about how I wish I'd like left it until his controller was broken so I could have had a win. But actually, I really, really enjoyed his company. We had a good laugh beforehand. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
And then there's like the crew, like Noelle, Ashley, and Max. I'm obviously really, really tight with them. Got our own little group chat where we bitch about.
Yeah.
Wally's been really great. Wally and Toto, they're like amazing to behold. Honestly, they're really, really like what Toto especially is incredibly like humble.
He genuinely is. Yeah, he really genuinely is.
Wally's really fun to have around. Really fun to have like as a guest commentator.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing because he's really always a guest commentator.
Yeah.
Love you.
Yeah.
Barnes, he's a little shit, but we all love him.
Yeah.
He's very, very funny. He's a man now as well because he got arrested.
Yeah. He got what?
Arrested for littering.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
You gotta look at Barons versus I'm A Lawyer.
Yeah, that's the second most viewed speedrun on the channel. Yep. Yep. And then I feel like you're forgetting someone.
I'm A Lawyer himself.
Apolloy himself, resentful sip of the wine, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I was great. He's a great laugh. Great crack.
Yeah, it's great crack. Yeah.
So they're all brilliant. I haven't forgotten anyone.
No, I don't think you've forgotten
I'm you.
I'm alright. In the words of G4VF, I'm honorary member of Group C. He's alright.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's an honorary member. He's great as well. Love you, Rick.
Yeah.
And Ratchet as well.
Yeah, that's right. Basically, at this point, half the tournament's just an honorary Group C. Yeah, that's right. It's just an honorary. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But no. So you've enjoyed being in Group C. You've sort of, I think that it's probably the best fit for you from like if I'm thinking about it, like
Definitely.
In terms of being able to like make friends. I know it seems like sexist that we lumped like 3 of the 4 girls together, but I think that in hindsight, looking at it back, I think that was a smart decision because I think obviously not to say that like girls and guys can't. Hang out together. I mean, just not that that's the case, but I think it does help sort of break the nerves of like meeting new people and stuff like that. And the same sex, it does help in some ways.
There's always, sorry to turn this into a social justice issue.
Yeah.
But there's always a bit of a apprehension going into like a new kind of gaming group, like as a girl. You don't really know like who's there, who's like creepy or what. Yeah. So it did definitely help, like, because me, Ashley, and Noelle, like straight off the bat, decided we were like just like gonna have a little group and talk to each other about it just in case and stuff. Yeah. But like we haven't had any problems, so it's been fine. But it was a good idea. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I think I'd say it all integrated well, and like it doesn't really feel like you're on the outs or anything like that, which is good. Which is like when me and Angus were talking about this and like picking and stuff like that, we thought okay, we don't want to drive away the only girls we freaking like brought in for what feels like a decade. Like there's like barely been anyone in like any IAS tournament or anything like that. So to be honest, to have like 3 of the best ones yet in one group, I think is like a good thing, and I'm glad that you guys.
That's my personality, possibly.
Yeah. I'm glad that like. I'm glad that it didn't also like to, we'll talk about speedruns in a sec, don't worry guys. But I'm glad that essentially what happened is it didn't feel like I had to force you guys to be friends either, because I mean that's what people could think a lot of the time if you're just like, hey look, there's 3 girls, you guys are girls, that you must instantly like each other. You guys must have a conversation together, like I think it's good that you guys we didn't have to force anything. So because I mean,
the whole of Group C pretty much hit it off instantly.
Yeah,
which is great. Yeah,
and I think it'll be good for the future when you guys inevitably, unfortunately, we're all going to get split up if we do other tournaments again.
Yeah,
it'll be good. It'll be good that now you've kind of like assimilated into the greater group, I guess. But yeah, so with that, just what are your sort of brief thoughts on groups A and group B as well? Thoughts on those
Well,
guys?
they're not as good as Group C, I have to say.
Yeah, that's nice.
But possibly some greater level of skill. So you've got like Group A, there's kind of 4 of them where it's like, yeah, they're really bloody good.
Yeah.
And then you've got like the 5 at the bottom who are fun to be around, but possibly are not so good. Like you've got a bit of a discrepancy.
5 at the bottom and then Lyle. Like that's like yeah, it's like
I love Lyle. I'm definitely doing an exhibition run with Lyle if I can, because me and Lyle, hilarity would ensue. I'm very sure.
I think so. I do agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be excellent.
And Group B's got some like excellent runners. You've got like Newen, Luke, G4, some really nice people to be around as well. So yeah. It's pretty
exactly.
chill.
Eric and everything as well, and James Jones Justice.
The man, the myth, the legend, James Jones.
Yeah. You know that I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
I'll drink to that. James Jones.
We love James Jones.
Yeah. Fucking cheers to James Jones. I don't have any thing left. Shit. Oh god. Okay. Wait. Sorry. I've just got a message from my friend on. Okay. Anyway, let's not talk about that. So let's talk about your favorite races so far, and I'm talking about every damn match in this tournament, not just Group A, not just Group B, Group C. That's just have it out. I'm gonna relax and just lay back.
I also. When we went through my races, did we just talk about me versus Noel and then go on a tangent? Because I feel like we did.
We probably did, yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. So I watched Money Maestro versus Newen this morning. I really liked the goal. I thought it was really creative because it basically puts Newen at a little bit of a loss, because if the other guy is really good at skateboarding, then like, you gotta get good, bro. Like, it's a really creative goal, and I think I'd like to like do something like that because it was really cool.
Yeah.
Ratchet versus Fraser was absolutely hilarious. Ratchet fucking up the bingo was brilliant.
Yeah. Fraser lying like, about where he was as well.
Tripping over it. Yeah. I remember G4 versus you being really good. I think
that was super close. Yeah, it was like a really close run. It was like something like if Eric didn't do something in, I think, Misty Bog or something, like a certain skip, he may have actually won. It would have been like within like 5 seconds or something crazy. Yeah, that was really good. What did you think about? There was another run that I thought was quite good. Did you end up watching Angus versus Muddy?
Is that the really long one?
Yes, it's a really long one.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of catching up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't blame anyone.
I've got lots of free time now.
This will be like the longest tournament in history in terms of races. Like even if we got more people, the way we're going to structure the groups in the future, that there will be less races, at least in round 1, because we know that it is quite strenuous on people. Like we do not expect anyone to watch the whole thing, for the record. Like, yeah. Although I expect you to watch every run because it's you, so that's in fairness.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to do.
Yeah, well.
I also love Chris versus Kate as well. Just great skill. The skill.
Yeah.
Just kind of looking at it with my mouth open the entire time.
Yeah, it's definitely like that. And of course, you can't forget any Lyle run is always.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say next. I've just got Lyle written down.
Yeah. Capital L. Yeah. So.
I love him.
Let's now talk about me versus you, because I think that's a great little sub-story of the tournament of a journey of 2 friends who
might disagree on this, actually.
Was it? You might disagree on this?
Disagree on.
Well, maybe we will. 2 friends turned enemies, turned bitter rivals, turned many other things. Turn potential teammates, and we'll leave it there before we get weird. I thought that basically we'll sort of go over it, like basically what our plan was, how we actually discussed it. So the story was that we were like thinking of a goal for a while. Like we were sort of just like, what do we want to do? Like, what do you want to do? Like, we'll do something to do with like the third world. So you went out and did a save state.
Yeah.
And
We wanted to do something really fucked up, and we wanted to do it in the third world, and that was pretty much what we knew at the start.
Yeah, because the thing is, at that point, there'd been a lot of runs, and the kind of, the disappointing thing was that a lot of them, and this is just by nature of the tournament, a lot of them, don't really involve the third or fourth world in Spyro 3, or like the third world in Spyro 2, or fifth world in Spyro 1, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So that was sort of the logic behind that. But then it was Wally who actually gave the bingo thing of ISGP thing.
Yeah,
right?
I made a bingo and it was absolute bollocks. And Wally made a bingo and it was also absolute bollocks, but it looked legit. So we were like, all right, we'll do this one.
Yeah. So
little did we know.
I'll let you take the floor here. What do you want to say about it? Like, what do you want to sort of talk about? Like the first race. We'll talk about the first race first.
God, I don't even remember half of it. It was just like a blur of just. Yeti boxing, Scorch.
I haven't watched the full thing since.
Have you not?
I have not watched the full thing since I've edited it or whatever, because I'm gonna save it to like a rainy day, or which is pretty soon actually, because I want to watch it again, like with the full, like I want to be able to watch what you were doing, because like I know I fucked up, but you apparently fucked up worse. And that's what made it so brilliant. God knows,
I can't remember. I blocked it out of my mind.
Yeah, what actually went wrong? Like, was it Yeti boxing like me?
It was Yeti boxing, and then I forgot a fundamental game mechanic of Spyro 3, in that you have to go through all of the worlds to actually get to the boss. Mm-hmm. So I just did some things in ICP and was like, right, I'll go to boss now. And I did a bit of Charm Ridge as well, and then realised that I couldn't. Went to Lost Fleet to get the egg, but didn't get the egg, so I had to go all the way back there again. God, it was just awful. Just terrible.
Yeah, absolutely terrible. Yeah, it was a very interesting run.
I'm gonna pull a Lyle here. If Zen hadn't fucked up the countdown at the beginning, I would have won.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, seriously, I think you had that momentum by 0.03 of a second. I think that's...
I was really close behind you, to be honest.
That's very true. At the very start. So, what happened was, it all, as you've said in the video, Al joins, chaos goes from chaos to even more chaos.
Oh yeah, Mark's as well.
Yeah, yeah. We were just, like, going, like... I feel like I wasn't even, like, I was just playing, I was just not even focusing on anything at that point. Like, I was just doing runs, and what happened was I ended up missing one of the goals. And this is my excuse, right? Me blaming this is that we had two goals that essentially looked the exact same.
Yeah.
It was like the mystery jar. There was the mystery jar selected twice, which should not have happened.
If there were two goals that were the same, shouldn't you have had two chances to get it right?
Well. Yeah. I've gone red. Yeah. No, you're right. It's a complete and utter colossal fuck up.
Yeah.
I think part of it as well is just the fact that I feel like with those bingo boards, like, you need to have them up constantly. Like, I feel like I didn't have mine up on my browser at the time. I had, like, you know what? Here's another excuse. I'll say, if I had my two browsers, two windows like screens. I do now, I would be able to put one on one side and one on the other.
Yeah, but, I had two screens at the time, so it did help me out with that bit.
Yeah, because you think that when you finish a run, you'd go, okay, let's just double check and see. And this is kind of, almost the theme of the tournament, actually. There's been a couple other examples of this.
Let's just double check. But at the end, we were just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Just wanting it to be anywhere.
We did a rematch. It was someone that actually pointed it out in the comments. I would have been happy to just... I think it was Brandon or
Yeah, you would have been happy to just skip
I would have been happy to just be like, I won. Like, get out. But we did a rematch, and then even more drama ensued. What happened? What happened, Alice Clarke?
What happened, Alice Clarke? Okay, so... I don't even know where to begin. So, what was it? It was...
A race to 100% Bamboo Terrace.
The Icy Peak Thieves.
Icy Peak Thieves. Oh, that's a whole angle that I didn't even think about. But yeah, so Icy Peak Thieves, and 100% Bamboo Terrace, but it was with the game. Like, I think we already had Sheila's Alp 100%ed and the home world 100%ed, because again, we wanted to kind of like get to the next
at the
world
beginning,
quicker.
it flashes the atlas.
We didn't want to do the same shit, you know, yeah. So yeah, go ahead. I'll let you take the reins.
Yeah, so pretty all right for the first kind of 20-ish minutes.
Yeah. Just
like a normal run. Just like there's a bit of a blip where G4 revealed unto me that we weren't allowed to just kill the first thief on the pedestal. Literally, probably half a second after I'd done it.
So G4 said that we weren't able to do that. Is that?
Or I don't know, because I don't know if it was said before. I don't recall it being said before, but he said, you're not allowed to, you're meant to get them both charging them or something like that. And he went, yeah, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I've just got it.
So I guess.
So I don't know whether that
it's one of those things where it's like, is it a glitch? You know, and the whole the whole discussion of is what's a glitch, what's not. I'd say it definitely errs on the side of like it probably isn't, but that's what they would probably want you to do. The fact that they run to be chased and there's a whole course implies that yes, you should do it that way. But because we didn't establish that, I don't think it's fair for me to be. If I was being a real dick, I could be like, well, you know, like that could happen. You know, maybe that's minus 10 seconds.
If it was between 3 and 4, fourth and fifth place, if that was your deciding how, let's just rematch forever, like. We probably would find a way to just keep doing that. No, you're right. So that's, I guess that's sort of. So that was the start of the.
The downfall. Bamboo Terrace is where it got interesting. So continue.
So, I did. Oh, the other. Wait. Did you do ICP? I'm trying to think.
Yeah. I did ICP.
No. Is that the bit that you were fucking up at?
Yeah.
Sorry, this is.
No, it's all good.
Fucking up the
Alice, you're live. Oh my god.
Sorry,
no, it's all good.
Yeah, you were also fucking up the glide there, which is what bought me the time I needed.
That's right, yeah, and fucking the other guys were like, bro, don't do it. And I'm like, no, bro, I'll do it, man. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I've already had 2 buzz deaths, and I was like, I'm gonna catch up to you with 2 buzz deaths. And you're like, fuck off.
Fuck you. Yeah, and you, spoiler alert, you did. Basically, almost. You all kind of, by the time we got there, you were like not long behind at all.
I had a really good bamboo up until the last 17 gems. So did you actually practice? Are you fucking lying about where you are?
Did you practice Bamboo Terrace, or did you just sort of have a? Yeah, neither did I, and that probably shows. Even though you had a good one, but like.
Yeah, I mean, my general plan was basically you've got to run all the way back to the start for the mystery job, right? So don't take too much time getting the gems on the way there, because you can just get the ones on one side.
This is big strat right here. Yeah. Toto would be very proud of you.
This is the thing that I was mentioning when I was in Bentley. And you were like, are you fucking lying about where you are?
Yeah.
I was like, no. I've got a strategy. And you were like, what is it? I was like, I'm not telling you. And then you soft-locked and it all went to shit.
Yeah. So, I soft-locked during a glitch of my own discovery. So the fun, do you know that I discovered this glitch?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So it was my claim to fame. Excuse me?
You were like, you're not allowed to do that glitch because I discovered it.
I didn't say that.
Citation needed.
Citation.
You did.
Oh,
you did. I will send you the clip, my friend.
Oh, fuck. Well, I'm putting my glasses on so then I won't look as evil. So fuck you. Okay. No. Anyway, let's continue. All right. As we were saying. Yeah. So I discovered that glitch, and I actually had no idea that you could actually someone like Zin had heard about like soft locking, right? Like I'd heard about it, but I didn't know that like that actually happened. Like I don't think there's ever been an example where it's happened to me. So I like charge out of there and I get stuck. And at this point, this is where clearly established rules needed to be displayed, because your impression was like you were legit like, oh fuck you, like too bad, like what are you gonna do about it, like
Wally was encouraging me.
Yeah, and Al was like the other way around, so you're probably also encouraged to like be more like full on. And I was like, no, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? And you can watch it for yourself. But long story short is after like over a minute, I finally decided to leave. And then it was like essentially a game of catch up. And I almost had it if it wasn't for dying twice at that challenge. But then you really fucked up trying to find those last gems.
Well, yeah, I would have thrashed you.
You would thrash me because I had, exactly. Getting that lead of being able to, me having to enter the level again, do all that shit again, like that just had.
It wasn't just that. There was a lot of skill involved.
I think. Well, credit to you. I think you did the shooting challenge first go, right?
Oh yeah. That was. Yeah,
That's
and
skill.
I went through Bentley 4 times.
Yeah.
Trying to find those gems.
Oh, because that's I don't blame you because that's where most people are thinking it's going to be.
Yeah. It's so frustrating because there's a bit where like I die and you can see where they are. You can see the baskets with the gems in them.
Yeah.
But I didn't go back to that point.
Oh yeah, hate that. Hate it when you see it on screen. So I guess the story of that is that Alice won. I had a bit of lag for like 20 seconds.
I've been villainized for it.
Yeah. You've become a bit of a heel. No, really not really.
Same with me and Max as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's another one. Yeah, that's another one. But so you ended up winning, but you did, and this is like off camera for people that haven't know this, you did sort of quietly offer me a rematch, which I thought would be.
I felt pretty guilty because
at that point, I think the problem was because we hadn't established what to do with a soft lock. It really, and because of the nature of the fact that you did fuck up and you didn't find the gems, I think that had you won convincingly, like by a couple minutes, I think it wouldn't have been as. I think it wouldn't have been as fair or whatever, but I think because it was sort of so close, that's why you sort of you offered something. But I think that at that point, as I said, if it had been between fourth place and fifth place, I think we would have taken it. I think probably Angus or someone would have stepped in and been like, okay, you've got to like.
I think.
But it is a good lesson. It is a good lesson, and I'm glad that I'm glad that you won because I think that the better woman won. In that case, and the reason why I say better woman is because I'm not a woman, so objectively you're the better woman. So it's actually not a compliment. So just saying, okay.
Fuck you.
Okay. No, just kidding. But it was good fun. So other than that, how have you sort of trying to wrap it up? I'm trying to think about what else to add. Is there anything else you wanted to add to this?
Maybe Ashley.
Oh yeah, of course. How could I? Yeah. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, okay. I mean, there's not much to say other than she beat me by 8 frames. I mean, I edited it, so I was just like kind of watching in disbelief. There's like, there was just no way of like telling because she uses a cap card, right? So she doesn't have the audio.
Yeah.
The audio from the call.
That's Ashley's fault. I got to teach her how to figure that shit out. Yeah.
So I had to make sure that we'd moved on the same frame.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, line them up, move on the same frame and see what happens. 8 frames. I was like.
And the thing is, she might have had an input lag, which would have been unfair anyway. But it's like, that's the problem, right? Is that looking at this now, like looking at like me versus Noel, which is like a classic sort of race that was within less than a second as well. So like probably like 20 frames or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how many it was, something like that. Do you advocate for a very, very minimal draw times, like maybe 1 or 2 seconds?
Yeah.
You do? Why is that?
Mainly to make it easier on like the editor and stuff like that.
Yep.
Just because there's like all these differences and all these different things, like not so much difference between like emulator and PS3, but just kind of just to account for all the different things that could be going on. Like, so for example, in our rematch, I'd actually lined up the audio for the countdown and you moved a good half a second later.
Yeah.
And I noticed it and I was like, oh, I don't know. I hope people don't think I'm like cheating around, but
yeah.
I'd lined up our audio. So if Ashley had done that and moved half a second later and just had like a little misstart, I would have won, but we'll never know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I know that the argument was by like the more professional runners, was that like they're like, oh, it's like speed run, whoever wins first and stuff like that. But I think that, and I did agree with it at the time. Run. Yeah, it's exactly. It's not a slow one. But I think that upon reflection, looking at some of the runs, especially that one, where it is less than a second and there is like different consoles and stuff like that, I feel like, it is. I think that 1 or 2 seconds, you know, for a run of that length is fair because, one, we're an entertainment organization, so it's like, you know, that's what we're about. Entertainment. We're not about sports. It's all about entertainment. So like, it'd be fun to do it. It's fun to do a rematch. But 2, it does account into those things that you're talking about a little bit. And I just think,
Yeah, I think the draw times that you had before, the ones at the very start of the competition, I don't know if people know of these. Oh god, my battery's away. I don't know if people know of these, but they were huge, like massive.
Ridiculous. That was stupid. No, I can't believe that was the case.
1 or 2 seconds, maybe regardless of like race length, I don't think is unreasonable. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, I remember like one of the things where something happened with the draw time, we changed it during a run. I think I was looking at this on the wiki where like for me to get the grand final in IS 8, something like the draw time was 26 seconds, and like when we like agreed towards the end of the run make it 10, and I don't think Muddy agreed or whatever, and then he ended up losing by like 19 seconds, but he was still out. I don't know, that sounds really dodgy. I don't know what happened there, but the point is that like, the fact that it was even considered to be 20 seconds is just ridiculous. I guess it shows that the skill in this tournament is far greater in terms of people being on a similar level though, because back in the day, like there were those draw times existed for a reason, and they weren't like used. You know, it was like I feel like a bigger gap in the skill. So, yeah. Well,
wow.
Let's wrap it up. Let's abruptly let's abruptly and awkwardly wrap it up. No, that was really good though. It was really good. This is the longest one so far, I think.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I kind of forgot we were doing it for a while. I've got 7 minutes of battery left, so we can't ramble on much longer.
What are you using to record?
Laptop, because my PC room is very gloomy and dark and.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. Well, it's been fun. It's been real, and
it has been real.
Yeah. Nothing else you don't want to add? Nothing else you want to add? Trying to think if there's any other race that was interesting. Oh yeah, you getting disqualified and you versus Al.
Versus Harry.
Yeah.
Me versus Al, where I completely fucked it up. I insisted that we do it glitchless and then did a glitch.
Well, that's a whole discussion for another day. But well, was that intended? Was that skip intended? You know, that's what you could argue. Yeah. Okay. She's gone silent, guys. The audio's fucked up. All right, it's time to end it. Thanks, Alice. Thanks very much. This was great.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll speak to you later. Goodbye.
Speak to you later, mate. Bye.
Bye.